My wife is so like, don't drink the water.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to drink the
She's
water.
not here. She's not the boss of me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Mark, Mecha Markimus Maximus.
How's it going?
And so we've hit 1,000 subscribers.
Whoa.
So, first of all, thanks to everybody.
To all 1,000 of you.
All 1,000 of you. We've had like way more than that for views.
For sure.
But not everybody subscribes that views something. So 1,000 subscribers is our first major milestone for any YouTuber. So it's really awesome. So thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. We're going to do something interesting for you to celebrate. Curt couldn't be here. I think he just doesn't want to drink river water.
Yeah. I don't know what his problem is.
I think he could have been here. He just doesn't want to drink river water. We are going to drink river water, as I promised many people on our podcast that we would when we hit 1,000 subscribers. But at the same time, we're going to make a DIY filtration system. We're going to test it out. We're going to show you how we're making it. And if we die, then you'll know it didn't work.
Right. And it's simple.
It's like, super simple.
Yeah.
So we'll have links in the description below for all of the things that we bought, just in case anyone's dumb enough to try this after us. But this is Huining. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Whoa. We're going to use a Chinese filter here?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Dude, it was bought off of Amazon. Everything's Chinese.
That's fair.
The world runs on Chinesium, didn't you know?
That's fair.
So first of all, here's the thing. I ordered 4 of these styrofoam packs because I thought that each one was one filter. Each one is 2 filters.
Oh, shit.
I have more filters than God now.
But now, when the zombies come and there is no power, you'll be
I
able
can
to filter
so much water.
Yeah.
Each one of these is supposed to filter 1,000 gallons.
Okay, so you got 8,000 gallons. So
times 4.
Times
8.
Times 8. Oh, yeah.
Times 8. Yeah, I'm pretty good to go. Anyway, I don't know what this is. This comes with looks like a doily, if I'm being honest.
It's probably meant to clean something, I'm going to assume.
But it's a ceramic filter. If you brush it, I suspect all that would happen is you would tear it apart. I've heard these things can be pretty fragile. But that sure is what it looks like.
I think it's just a thank you gift.
It's a thank you doily.
Thank you, doily.
It feels like a microfiber, so we got a microfiber thank you doily.
It's like, ooh.
Depending on the water quality, we recommend maintaining the ceramic filter at least once a month. Oh, on the website it says 1,000 gallons. Or does it say 1,000 liters?
1,000 liters?
I think it said 1,000 liters
per month.
Yeah, so you got to use it within a month.
Yeah.
Use a scouring pad or soft brush to scrub the surface of the ceramic dome in cool water to clean the holes of the ceramic. So this is if you want to use it a little bit longer,
right.
Get a little bit more life out of it, then you scrub it in water. Let the new filter element filter the water once and drain the filtered water. Yeah, so we're supposed to use this once and then drain the filtered water.
Right.
I hope we don't kill ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, this says Korea ceramic.
So it's made in China, but it was manufactured in Korea, then shipped to China. Yeah, that's about that quality.
We're going to pause for a moment.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dust on here. I'm going to take this inside, and I am going to brush it in running cold water.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to soak it in a bucket while we do the rest of this and we make our DIY filter to kind of try to prime it a little bit. And hopefully we can forgo. Here, I've said this before in my videos, guys. I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. Yeah. So if you ever decide to do what I'm showing you on these videos,
don't. Just don't.
You grow a third limb, you're on your own. Okay? So we're going to pause. We're going to be right back. I'm just going to wash this. All right. A couple of minutes later, through the magic of television for you guys, it's been a couple of seconds. I have rinsed and scrubbed it with the doily. Hopefully that'll do the trick. I'm not getting any more
dust
ceramic
on it.
dust off of it, so that's good. And it's heavier.
Well, that's probably because there's water inside.
Yeah. No shit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start soaking this in water while we build the rest of our DIY filter.
And it's likely to get even heavier now.
And it floats. You know, when they show using in these factory things. I don't even know what these are. I don't use water jugs at home, but there's only one in there.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so
But
I was going to use one.
But that's fairly small, like item, like water filter.
It's just like a desktop water filter for your home.
Yeah.
But it said on the website on Amazon, it said that it filters 0.4 to 0.6 gallons per hour.
Right.
So that's like approximately 2 liters per hour.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I've seen other videos doing research to make sure that we weren't going to kill ourselves before doing this. And a lot of other folks seem to believe that, you know, you put 2 of them in, it'll filter twice as fast. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
In a 5-gallon pail, if we filled it right up, then we're looking, and we were filtering at an average of half a gallon per hour.
Per hour, yeah.
Then we're looking at 10 hours
to do 1 bucket.
to do 1 bucket of water.
Right. Yeah. You have that kind of time when, you know, it is a zombie apocalypse and you're just kind of sitting around waiting for your water to filter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. I still am not sure I would put 2 of these in here.
Right.
These buckets are cheap. They were $5 for a pail.
Right. Yeah.
And then an additional, how much were they for I think they were $3 for the lids.
Right.
So we're looking at $8 a pail. I've got multiples of them. I think what I would probably do is still just put 1 filter in
and then just run multiples.
Yeah, run multiples if I've got a large number of people. But to be perfectly honest with you, 10 hours to filter 5 gallons of water.
Yeah.
If it, you know, for example, if it's me and my wife.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
You're filtering water daily, you're good to go.
Exactly.
So I think I've got this.
And let's be honest, the 2 is 1 and 1 is none principle applies here, right? If you put everything in 1 and something were to happen, you know, and those are the only 2 filters you had, they could be gone.
You might
right?
regret it.
You might regret it. So splitting it up anyway would be a really good idea to start with anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's get this thing built. This is going to be our filtered water bucket, and it's going to have this lid on it. There will be a hole drilled in here as well for the spigot or for the ceramic filter to drip from this bucket down into this bucket. And I know everybody can't really see that, but they're going to sit on each other like this. And they center on each other because they're made to be stacked on each other. And we're going to filter from here to here. It's quite really that simple.
Yep.
Now, the big difference here is because this is non-potable river water that we collected from the South Saskatchewan River downstream from the sewage plant.
Good idea.
We are going to disinfect, sanitize, whatever you want to call it, the water before we drink it. And I want to go through that process a little bit before we start making the bucket. So we have calcium hypochlorite, commonly sold as pool shock. It's used for disinfecting your pool, preventing algae growth and all that kind of stuff in your pool. If you take those granules, which are very shelf stable when they're dry.
That's right, yeah.
And you mix them with water, then they, I don't know, it creates a chemical reaction, obviously, that frees the chlorine.
That's right,
in the hypochlorite.
Yeah.
And you create bleach. Which, from what I understand, is essentially the same as you would buy it in a bottle. The difference being that the bottle will lose potency relatively quickly. I don't know,
months. It's like 6 months. Yeah. So most bleach that you buy off the shelf, it'll last you 6 months at most. This stuff, like we say, is shelf stable.
As long as you don't get it wet.
As long as you don't get it wet, it'll generally last until the end of time.
It's like honey.
Yeah, pretty much. All they're going to find after the bombs.
Or maple syrup.
Yeah, is honey, maple syrup, Twinkies, pool shock, and cockroaches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The cockroaches will be swimming in our pools while eating pink Twinkies.
That's right.
These Heuning filters say they're 0.2 to 0.5, sorry, 0.15 to 0.5 micron filtration, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If it's 0.15 to 0.5, then it's 0.15.
Right.
It's going to filter to the smallest. No, it's going to filter to the biggest part of the filter.
But, well, no, because it should be 0.5 going in all the way to 0.15.
Yeah, exactly. So what?
Is that what you said?
Yeah. So what that means is, like, is this consistent? Is this like a 0.5 layer outer layer and then a 0.15 inner layer?
I don't know how it's built, but that's theoretically how it should. It should have multiple stages all the way down.
So the answer really is we haven't got a fucking clue how many microns this is filtering to.
That's right.
0.5 is supposedly small enough to filter out the majority of your bacterias and that sort of thing. Not necessarily all viruses.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We're talking like down to 0.05 or something like that for viruses, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 0.01?
But I think even as low as 0.01, you can still get a virus.
So that's really what the pool shock is for, is to kill the last bit of viruses.
Yeah.
Now, if it's not consistent, if you've got like 0.5 micron pores and 0.15 micron pores,
you definitely want to use.
Then you have a 0.5 filter.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
That's right, yeah.
So we're going to assume that this is a 0.5 filter.
Yeah.
Our city uses like, I think they start with like a 20 micron and then like a 10 micron. Like they use sand filtration and then they work all the way down. All right, we got our trusty drill. We're working with rigid tools because that's all I have. You know what I just realized? Am I going to even be able to? Fuck me.
You have to go the other way.
I'm going to have to go the other way. Yeah. And I don't want to go the other way for this reason and this reason alone.
It's got the little nipple.
It's got a nipple and I got to drill through the nipple. But I'm willing to bet.
Why don't we cut the nipple off and then drill?
No. I got an even better idea. Check this out. All these people who are actually handy are yelling at their screens right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit crooked just to get through the nipple.
Sure.
And then I'll drill the rest from the other way.
There you go.
So I'm just going to make sure I'm in the center because that's what's the most important. And I accidentally went all the way through.
There you go.
But I think that'll work. You know, it's thin. It doesn't. Now what I'm going to do is just going to get a tiny little mark on the lid.
There you go.
So I know where to drill on the lid. And yeah, it's right on the nipple. This isn't hard. You know what? I'm going to turn this upside down because I can see the nipple from the other side.
Boom.
And I'm just going to do this.
We're smart in Canada.
Are we though? Because this thing doesn't make the straightest hole in the world.
Nice.
There we go. When the boogaloo comes, we're dead.
Yeah.
There, that's actually not too bad. That works just fine.
Perfect.
So that's going to go there. Let's get the bits of plastic out of here because this is supposed to be for our clean water. I did clean these prior, and just in case anybody is wondering, these are high density polyethylene. So these, I'm going to be honest with everybody, because, you know, transparency rules. This is the only bit that I had. I probably would not have used this bit, especially now that I have used it. I would not use it again. I would probably just go buy a regular drill bit. But
it's good enough for government work, though.
Yeah, it's good enough for government work. And here's the reality of the situation, guys. If your filter is slightly off of center, who gives a flying fig?
That's right.
Because if you're a perfectionist, well, you shouldn't have let the world to go to shit in the first place.
That's right. That looks aligned to me.
They are lined up, and that's really all I care about. So that's step number one. So we can screw that filter in, but we're not going to do it right now. We're going to let it soak and prime for as long as we possibly can. So our top reservoir is done.
Yeah.
It just needs to have the filter added to it. And all we need to do now is put our spigot in. And what we're going to do is we want it as low as possible. There is a bit of a lip here. And I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but you can see there's a bit of a lip here. So we want it just above. Yeah, so we want it just above this lip here. So we're going to put it right about there.
Do you want to mark that spot?
I would mark it if I had something to mark it with. I don't. I got a knife.
That'll work.
Okay, regarding our spigot, we're fucking up so that you don't have to. And we're going to tell you how we fucked up. And by the way, it's another day because, you know.
Things take time.
Well, we didn't start this last time until the sun was starting to go down. So we ran out of sunlight, but we've got another bucket. We've got the same spigot because we bought it in a pack of 2. And what we did is we mounted it as low as possible to get the most amount of water out, but we mounted it so far down that we couldn't turn this nut inside the bucket very well. You're gonna have to mount that like an inch up.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, the bottom line is that you can just tilt the bucket to get at the water. Use the old camping trick, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we suck so that you don't have to. So we're going to remount this. Okay, so we've cut our perfectly round hole. We've given a nice amount of space from the bottom of the bucket, so we don't have to worry about it. Let's put it on. Now, spigot first. Washer, tapered washer. The taper goes to the inside of the bucket. So flat, and this is one to go on, so I'm gonna screw it on. We're outside at the mercy of animals and everything.
And children.
And children.
I'm not sure which is worse.
And more dogs. So, flat on flat, okay? So that the tapered side is facing the bucket. And that goes into the hole. And you can tell that I cut this perfectly.
Because it actually screws in.
Because I screw it into the hole. Title of my sex tape. Okay. Second washer, flat goes to the nut. So the taper goes in towards the bucket. Okay, so the spigot is now in place. Now all we need to do is take our nut and screw the nut on from the inside. Now, another thing we found out with the last one, don't screw this on too tight. These, I don't think these are even rubber. There got to be some kind of, maybe they're like a butyl rubber, but they also might be like a silicone. Like, we're talking like barely hand tight here. And if I continue to hand tighten that, all I'm gonna end up doing is just squishing the washer.
So we DIY'd our DIY.
We DIY'd our DIY. Yeah, we sure know what we're doing. So we now have a very crude water filter, complete with spigot.
Spigot, no spigot.
Isn't really going to make a difference.
Isn't going to make that big of a difference.
Yeah,
So
you don't even really need the spigot. So let's put our filter on. Well, this thing gets very heavy. And when you shake it, water comes out of it. Is that a surprise? I'm just going to call this thing primed.
it seems primed to me.
We're going to give it about an hour. We're just going to give it enough to filter the water that we need. We're doing this kind of late in the evening, and we don't want to do this in the dark.
No.
So we're going to speed this up. We'll be right back. Oh, nice. Big fucking wasp on the side of our bucket.
That checks out.
Yeah. We now have our filter, and we're going to install it. So we've got our top bucket with our hole. We are going to unscrew this. We're going to leave the washer on the inside of the bucket. Hopefully everybody can see this. I'm making this harder on myself so you guys can see. And then we're going to screw on
Oh, no. You need to put this on.
Why are you telling me things that I already know but I'm not doing?
Well, you know, we just have to make sure. So
This actually won't work. It's, oh no, it's catching the threads. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah.
We did that intentionally for everybody at home so that you could see how.
I hope you guys are paying attention.
Yeah.
If you weren't yelling at the screen moments ago, you failed.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm just doing this like a nice stripped finger tight. This whole thing's going to leak like a sieve. Here's the good news. The threads are so weak, you don't have to worry about squishing the rubber washer. So there we go. It's screwed onto the bottom. Now when we put this on, it will be good to go. Okay, this is where our river water is. Just to show you guys how well these buckets seal. That's an extra lid. That's why that one didn't seal very well. But I sealed this on because I didn't want it to spill. And I'll be honest, that's fucking on there. Am I even going to get it off? So in case anybody's worried about using a Canadian tire bucket, I don't think you have to be worried. That shit holds. Okay, so that's our river water. Just for comparison, this is the tap water that we primed the filter in. This is our yellowy greeny river water with some sort of floaties in it that we're going to be drinking. This is fun. All right, we got some nice, clean, slightly yellowish green river water. Let's take it back and treat it. Let's pour it in and let's see what happens. So that's, what would you say that is? That's about half full, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So that's about 2.5 gallons, which is about a little more, like 6 or so. No, it's under 4 liters per gallon.
Yeah, so.
Who's got good math? So it's about 10 liters of water.
About 10 liters, yeah.
Let's just say 10 liters. We're going to put a lid on this and we're going to leave it for a while. We'll come check it in about 15 or so minutes. We'll just make sure that it's flowing good. We'll make sure that the spigot is not leaking. In the meantime, let's make some bleach. Now we're supposed to be extremely careful while we make this bleach, because if we get it on our hands or if we inhale it, it can be pretty caustic. So
I can attest to that. I transferred it from a plastic container into a glass container. I did it outside with like a breeze.
Yeah.
And even then it was still like, you felt it in your chest and a little like it wasn't great. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
So I left our masks at...
Oh yeah, I'm not wearing one.
So Mark's going to mix this, so he's going to be wearing the gloves. You're not going to get those onto your hands, are
No,
you?
those are size 9. Like, those are for babies.
It said large.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll mix
you
it.
Put that on.
I have slightly more human-sized hands.
So,
you know what we do need before anything? Water in our mixing jar.
oh, you're right. We do. We should pause for that. Sure.
Put a lot of forethought into
Oh
this.
my God, right?
Okay, so I'm not so good at math, so we're really taking our life into our hands.
That's true.
here.
Yeah.
But to get our 6% bleach solution, we are going to, like you generally would use 2/3 of a teaspoon of pool shock for 1 gallon of water.
Yeah.
We're going to be making 1 liter of bleach.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're dividing that by 3.89.
Yep.
3.89, 3.78. I can still never
3.89.
remember. 3.89.
Yeah.
So essentially, let's just say 4. So 2/3 of a teaspoon divided by 4 is 1/6 of a teaspoon.
Right.
What we've got here is a 1/4 teaspoon measure. So we're just going to use a 1/4 teaspoon
Right.
because making a slightly stronger bleach solution
Yeah.
is not going to be a problem.
That's right.
And we're going to make sure that the bleach is all leached out of the water before we're drinking it anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just make sure we kill all the viruses that are
absolutely
coming out of the
everything.
poop water in the city.
Yeah. Nuke the
Nuke
bastard.
the bitch. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Let's nuke it from orbit.
So you're not going to get the pool shock on your fingers. Really?
Yeah.
So I'm making sure that I'm getting a nice level 1/4 teaspoon because I don't want to necessarily overdo it here. Okay, we got about a 1/4 teaspoon here. We're going to put her in. We're going to put our lid on. And we're just going to, what's the word? Agitate?
Agitate.
We're going to agitate this. Bleach.
Boom.
We have had our filter running, and here's the other thing we found. On the interwebs, on Amazon, when we purchased this filter, it says 0.4 to 0.6 gallons per hour.
Yes, yeah.
We were getting less than half.
Yeah, I would say half.
Than an average of 0.5 gallons per hour.
Right, yeah.
It took several hours for us to do what amounts to about 5 gallons of water.
Right.
No, this is a 5 gallon.
That's 5
2.5 gallons of water.
Right, yeah.
So for anybody who doesn't care about the time frame, if you don't need a large quantity of water, we put just one filter in, go ahead, put one filter in.
Yeah.
If you need the water to filter faster,
Yeah.
put 2 filters in. Or even better,
Yeah.
what I would probably do is I would get a couple extra buckets.
And do multiple.
And I would just do multiple
series,
filters.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take the lid off of here. These lids work really good. There we go. So it basically filtered our water, and I'm gonna pick you up. It filtered our water down to the line of the, like the plastic, basically.
Plastic base,
Okay.
yeah.
And you can see it started to concentrate a lot of the shit from the river that wasn't as noticeable when there was 2.5 gallons
Right.
of water in there. So that's good news though, because the crappier that looks,
The better.
the better, because that means the more water it filtered out.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our filtered water, and it still has like a slight green tinge to
It
it.
does have a slight green tinge.
And I opened it up earlier and I got a bug in it. So that's my bad. But I mean, it looks significantly, there's 2 bugs, a couple of floater bugs. It looks significantly cleaner
Oh yeah, absolutely.
than the water did before.
So this is the bleach that we mixed the other day. So now that we have the bleach though, and we're gonna purify the water. So at the 2 gallons, you wanna use about a 1/4 teaspoon of the bleach. So since this is a stronger bleach, and this is a little bit over 2 gallons, and we don't wanna die, we're gonna put a 1/4 of a teaspoon plus a little bit extra, which will get us to that 2.5 gallons. Otherwise it would be 1/3, and the math just gets all wonky. And we're not the mathin' kind here, so
We're also going to have to hurry this along because for some reason
The
black
bugs-
flies keep dive bombing into the water.
because it's nice, pure, clean water.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start by opening this up.
Hasta lasagna, careful to not get
Yeah.
any on you. So we've got,
We'll make sure that the bleach is still active.
here,
Yeah,
let
you
me
got
do this
that.
here. I'm not getting a full 1/4 teaspoon here. Okay, we're gonna get the dog here. We got a 1/4 teaspoon. Then we're gonna do another 1/2 of a 1/4 teaspoon.
Perfect.
Gonna give that a quick swish. And then we're going to seal the lid.
Yeah, that bleach is still very active.
Good.
That's what we want.
So, I'm just giving a quick little swirl just to make sure it's all mixed in. And we're going to leave this for, they say 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes.
We're
yeah.
going to leave it for about 45 minutes. And then we're going to slosh it back and forth until we're absolutely certain that there's no bleach smell.
Sounds good.
And then it's going to be time to
Bottom
make
up.
sure that our insurance is paid up. And then we're going to drink the water.
My wife is so like, don't drink the water.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to drink the
She's
water.
not here. She's not the boss of me.
You know
Don't
what?
tell her I said that.
It's not like we're in Mexico and we have a chance of getting hepatitis.
Right, yeah.
Like, what's the worst thing that's going to be in a Canadian river supply?
Beaver piss.
Beaver fever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's basically it.
There's definitely enough stuff that can make us sick.
Yeah.
But that's what the bleach is for. You know what blows me away is like you're looking at this, like a 1/4 of a teaspoon to 2.5 gallons.
Yeah.
Like that is not a lot of bleach.
Bleach,
And
exactly.
it makes me want to be like, it makes me want to say like, you know, just to be sure here,
Yeah.
let's put half of that bucket in there, or half of the jar in here. Let's just be sure.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's not enough.
That's right.
But we're going to find out.
We will.
Okay. Okay, it's been 45 minutes.
Yes.
So the bleach should have worked its magic. Let's open this bucket up. Assuming that I have the man hands strong enough to do it. I don't smell any bleach, do you?
No, I don't. So I'm not sure if that's...
I don't know if it's good or not.
Good or bad.
We're gonna slosh it back and forth. You can see, like, this is pretty clean looking water.
It's pretty clean looking water for sure.
Okay, moment of truth. Well, maybe like 30 to 90 minutes from now will be the moment of truth.
Right, that's right, yeah.
If we feel okay.
Yeah.
We have drinkable water in here. Let's let you take a look at it. You can see it's still got a little bit of a greenish tinge to it. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it has a little bit of a tinge to it compared to regular tap water. But it smells fine.
Yeah.
Obviously I haven't drank it yet, but it smells fine. And the odds of a virus being in our river water is not super high.
Yeah.
Well, except for the fact that we collected this downstream from our sewage plant.
Right, yeah. That was smart.
I didn't want it to go upstream of the sewage plant. So hopefully there's no viruses in it.
Right, yeah.
And let's face it, most people, well, I guess there's that whole fecal COVID-19 level that everyone's telling us about.
That's right.
Who knows? I'm not even going to think about this. Let's not think about this but until after we have drank the water. There's one cup for you. One for me. You know, I'll say in the cup, it looks like, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Pure water.
It looks like pretty clear looking water. No chlorine smell.
No.
Should we like dog lap it first?
Yeah, I am. Are you kidding?
That's surprising.
It's actually not too bad. There's no flavor in it.
Yeah, dude, it tastes like water. It's not bad at all.
People swim in our river here. So people probably get, there's a little bit of a taste, eh?
But not a bad, like, this tastes, honestly, this.
Yeah.
So, if we have any subscribers from the city of Regina, Saskatchewan.
It tastes like Regina water.
No, this tastes better than Regina water. Regina water is horrible. This is not bad. I have tasted worse water from municipal treated water supplies.
That's true. That is definitely true.
Yeah.
Ottawa's water tastes much worse than this.
Yes, Ottawa's water is worse than this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you go. Ottawa's water is worse than river water from a downstream from a sewage plant
in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan, that's been filtered in a plastic bucket. So Ottawa.
That's been filtered in a plastic bucket and chlorine treated with pool treatment.
Yeah. Yeah. Your standards.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I would drink this.
Yeah. It will keep you alive. This will definitely keep you alive.
Yeah.
Right? So
beyond that,
you're on your own.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste terrible.
No.
I'm going to prove to everyone, I'm not going to make you, but I'm going to prove to everybody.
You go right ahead. I am not drinking that quite that much.
Full cup of this water, river water. Hey, thanks everybody who subscribes and everybody who's going to subscribe. I promise if I do get sick, I'll let you know. But I don't think I'm going to.
No, I don't think you are either.
I think we succeeded.
I think we did. Salut.
See y'all next time.
Bye.